Hello, class. I'm going to do my presentation on a campaign, an IMC campaign or IMC of the Unheard Hero campaign. This is about the U.S. Border Patrol and their peer support program, which is a program meant to pretty much help agents and their peers to um, kind of work through some like resiliency techniques to offer them kind of like relief from the pressures of work with Border Patrol and CBP employees. Um, First, some housekeeping stuff. This campaign is pretty much just for educational purposes, just to cover myself because it is going to go on YouTube, but it is just for educational purposes for the Texas Tech MCOM 5310 class. This is merely based on my opinion and my best judgment. Um, Pretty much no warranty is given or implied about its accuracy. Um, this campaign has not been seen or presented to any CBP or DHS official or supervisor, and it has not been approved by the agency. So basically, I'm kind of just throwing something out here, and it is just a an educational campaign. It's not real, and it's not something that the Border Patrol has approved. So first, we're going to start with the campaign goals. The three main goals that this campaign has is the goal of having zero suicides across the agency. Um, Recently, there's been several suicides, and this kind of hits close to home to me because just recently a classmate of mine committed suicide. Like we came in at the same time to the border patrol, and he he took his life not too long ago. And obviously, the goal is to eliminate suicides completely. The second campaign goal is to develop a tool that gives CBP employees access to quick access to indicators that they can see and they can find that allows them to pinpoint suicide indicators within their peers. Um, the third goal is to give employees access to access and connections to medical help and support through their peers, and they can be referred to medical professionals instantly, like the Employee Assistance Program, which is a program that is offered to CBP employees, and another program that's called Endeavors. And basically, the I want the campaign to be able to offer that quick connection. The branding is a little bit difficult because the Border Patrol has like already official brands that can't be changed. The But the branding is what I want to kind of eliminate the stigma that seeking help has, right? So the Border Patrol is law enforcement, so it has a lot of Type A personalities where they see seeking help as kind of a weakness, and I want to rebrand the image where it's not considered weakness. It's considered a natural thing and something that people should look to do. And I want the program to be kind of a beacon of hope for anybody who's looking for help or wants to be the helper. The theory that I chose was ELM. primarily because I want to be able to take the central route and the peripheral route. So I want to target people that are looking for the help, and the secondary target or the peripheral route would be people who aren't looking for the help, but sometimes in the back of their head they're thinking about it, or they know somebody who has gone through a mental health issue or has needed it or has needed help, a friend or family. And I think ultimately, if we target one group, the secondary target would also benefit from whatever information we could put out there. The visual and verbal personality is, like as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of hard to change the brand of a government agency, because it's a long process. It has to be approved by a lot of people, and and in government, when everybody kind of just puts in their 2 cents, so by the time that it gets to the top, it's nothing near the idea that initially started. But just to change like some of the visual, or to give an idea of the campaign and the visuals that it would have. Here are some of the primary colors that I had decided to go to with the messaging, like the posters and the pamphlets and the videos, and kind of like the colors that pretty much represent the agency. These three agencies are the main CBP agencies, or the CBP agencies: Customs and Border Protection, which include the U.S. Border Patrol, Air and Marine Operations, and the Office of Field Operations. Um, I decided to go with these three fonts as well, because they're very simple, easy to read. It's not very complicated to understand them. They're not too fancy, and I think it delivers a clear message. They deliver a clear message that is easy to see from anywhere, and there's no room for inferring that anything about it. It's just straight to the point. And I'm a big fan of minimalist design, so I think they're very. Was like the typeface says, the font says impact, so I believe it's impactful, and it's just straight to the point. Um, there's just one note there saying the law of changing the seals of CBP. As far as the verbal personality, I would like the messaging to be sincere, noble, compassionate, and just seem pretty much. What I want is an authentic feel. I don't want, a lot of times when we see government social media, government messaging, it feels staged, it feels fake, and I'm trying to get away from that, because I think ultimately we want it to be real, and we want it to be authentic. And there's just some of the hashtags that I was thinking of using. Here's two kind of samples of the messaging campaign that I had in mind. This is the information for the pamphlet, which is basically is pointing out some of the warning signs or indicators of suicide. What people do, and what to look for, amongst your peers. And then there's of course the two samples of the posters that I kind of designed. And here is the second the second plan, which is direct to messaging to the ATAC phones. So every agent is assigned an ATAC phone, and by policy, it's part of the uniform now, so they have to have it with them at all times. So I think this is a great way to update emails. There's Teams messages that we use and share, and it's a great way to get that information in real time, and get it out there. And then outside of real time, we also have internal video messaging. Um, Initially, I had hoped to do maybe like a social media messaging, but I think in this case, since it's dealing with suicide, um, I think internal video messaging is preferred, um, because of course the agency and is very, not, it's not something that they like to announce to the whole world, right? So that the numbers are out there, but it's still a very sensitive subject. So we kind of like to keep it within the agency and the family. And it's just video messaging amongst, peer to peer, kind of just through email, basically. And this is just here, the campaign timeline. I figured it would be a great idea to start it in September, since it is Suicide Prevention Month, and end it in September since it is also Suicide Prevention Month. I mean, it's very simple. I would start out in September, and release the first set of posters, and then push through with more communication in musters before shift starts, through email. Um, you know, keep the series of videos going throughout the year. Maybe once every 2 months, release a new video, depending on the workforce that's available to push them out, of course, because most of the videos are done internally. Um, there's a mid-year benchmark just to see how we're doing, check the numbers, see how many people have contacted peer support, how many people have received out for help through EAP, peer support, or endeavors, and then maybe have a focus group later on in the month when you talk about people. Hey, how are we doing? Can we do anything different? And then ultimately just uh, finish up the campaign, see how we did, and then start again and rebrand it, and kind of just, if it's working, we'll go with it, and if not, change what we could, and then and improve it. And ultimately, how we would measure success is the quantitative factors would be the suicide rates, right? Are we having less suicides? Are we making connections with peer support? Are we talking to people? How many people are participating in the events? As I mentioned earlier, we would do like some surveys, some questionnaires, also focus groups, and the qualitative factors. Um, and then we would also try to get involved with the community. Endeavors is a private company that CBP hires to help out, but like maybe get involved with the schools and do presentations with the kids. Um, and then qualitative factors, personal testimonials and stories. Basically, we would use that, and if we rebrand it later, we would be able to use those testimonials and stories in the next series of videos. As I mentioned earlier, the focus groups would be able to give us information of where we could improve, um, and then have interviews with stakeholders and the community, schools, and, and take that agency feedback and enter it into make an analysis of where we can improve, and what we need to change, and then just take, I mean, all those observations from people who will participate in the program and the campaign, and who are part of it, and then ultimately apply all those changes, and either get rid of them, as I mentioned, or if something works, use it more, and ultimately just do what we can to just get ahead of the issue. Of course, I mean, there's no promise that a campaign like this could end suicide, but if anything helps, if one person is saved, I think it would make all the difference. Thank you.